saying attack Estonian targets on the internet, online, through the web. And the problem was Estonia was extraordinarily vulnerable because when they gained their independence, Sweden came in and basically wired the entire country for them. So they were at that time far more wired than we are today in this country. They vote online, they pay taxes online. If you park your car in Estonia, you pay online through your, what Charlie calls a cell phone, okay? So it was a super wired country. They were attacking the government targets, they attacked banks, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, very important for a legal analysis, they caused no destruction. There was no physical destruction and no one was harmed. So we're primarily talking about denial of service or distributed denial of service attacks, defacement attacks, and so forth. The attacks came primarily from Russia, actually from Russians all over the world, but primarily from Russia. There were a few government IP addresses. That, I don't know if that's me or we'll let the tech people figure that out. I've already demonstrated I don't know anything about technology. They came from around the world. There was some indication that the Russians were involved, but we're not so sure. And the results were that it basically shut the entire country down for 10 days. What they did is they took their country, the entire country, they took it offline. So you could not connect into Estonia. You could talk within Estonia, but you could not come from the outside into Estonia. They did come forward to NATO and say, Article 5, North Atlantic Treaty, we'd like to consider collective defense. The rest of NATO said, when we invited you into NATO, we weren't really thinking about fighting the Russians in the next couple of years. So we'll stick with this Afghan thing. You guys move on. And the Estonians decided that they did not want to continue with this request for collective defense. So that's the first big event that happened. This event is relevant to the jus ad bellum, the body of law that governs when it is a state may resort to force as an instrument of its national policy, Article 2.4, Article 51. The other incident, if I can make this turn, the other incident occurred the very next year. And it's a very different context because whereas Estonia was the jus ad bellum, this is the jus in bello. This is humanitarian law, the law of war, law of armed conflict. This is about the rules of the game when you're in the fight already. This involved Georgia. Georgia, there was a breakaway republic. There is a breakaway republic in Georgia called South Ossetia. There's another one called Abkhazia. They're primarily ethnic Russian. The Georgians don't like them. They hate the Georgians. When the Georgians got independence from the Soviet Union, these two areas, South Ossetia and Abkhazia, kind of fought the Georgian revolutionary forces, created their own little countries, if you will, supported by the Russians. This made the Georgians crazy because they're supposed to be sovereign in this area, but there are these little criminal countries with their own militaries and so forth. So at a certain